All right, welcome back. It's still NewsHub, and we're talking politics without bitterness. We just heard from Salihu Yakasai, who is the special advisor media to the Kano State governor. And we still have Olusola Sanni in Abuja studio. Olusola Sanni is a media aide to the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. I'm sure you heard all the comments of Yakasai in Kano. And he said, one of the things he said that one wants to hold on one hand is the rivalry between Kwakwanto and Ganduje is a healthy one, which calls for the progress in Kano State. But one thing that the Kano State government also blamed the PDP of doing is changing the initial date of February 2nd for their rally, and only for the party to fix that, only for your party to fix another date after the contractors had been mobilized to start work in the stadium. Do you think that your party shares blame in all of this, shifting dates without informing the incumbent government of Kano State?
Well, I listened to Malam Tanko Yakasai from Kano, and he said that the PDP was being economical with the truth. I think that was not a very responsible statement to make, because if you look at it, the truth of the matter is that, one, the APC-led government in Kano State initially denied of our request to use that facility. That is the truth. It's not, he didn't deny that. Secondly, they reversed it, and he claims that they mobilized the contractor for maintenance of the facility. I don't want to buy into that argument, and the reason is not far-fetched. Naturally, this is a political season, and it is not in the place of the APC to determine when any party, it doesn't have to be PDP, will hold their rallies or whatever event they want to hold for political reasons. If they were truthful, the ideal thing to have done is to mobilize whoever their contractors are after this whole process. So if you come on public air and you claim that you are doing a maintenance of a facility that is naturally the venue of political events in the middle of that political period, then we need to look at who really is being economical with the truth. That being said, I think one of the major themes of this 2019 election period is that politicians must be made to walk the talk. It is not enough to speak to fair play, to speak to government, to the sitting government, saying that they will conduct free and fair elections, that they will provide adequate security for the elections, that they will not muscle down on the opposition. That is cheap talk. So far, we have not seen them demonstrated what they claim. The Kano example is not the first time that our campaign will be denied facility. I think it happened again. It happened also in, Ekiti State and some other states like that. And we will not be developing in our political, our democratic processes if we still play this kind of politics. I cannot recall any time in 2015 election cycle when the then opposition candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, was denied any facility in any PDP-controlled state. I cannot recall any of such instance. And even in Kaduna, when he had an attack, I can recall also that the sitting president at that time, President Goodluck Jonathan, quickly came up to the occasion to give him a necessary replacement as it was necessary. So it is Nigerians need to call on the APC government to walk the talk. They have not done that so far.
All right, because you really didn't hit the nail on the head, because I asked you because APC says that, from what we heard Yakasai say, he said that PDP changed their dates. You had booked the stadium for 2nd of February, and then you changed it like 3 times without informing the government of Kano State. So why won't you take the blame for that when you didn't inform the government that you were going to change your date from February 2nd to any other date?
I don't know when it became necessary that you need to take permission for Party A needs to take permission from Party B when to hold its event. The truth of the matter is that we are still within the window of time provided for in the Constitution and the law to hold these events. And if the government was serious about their claim, what they ought to have done ordinarily is to suspend whatever renovation, maintenance they have on that facility till after this election cycle. Anything other than that is just to put it back to them, then economically with the truth.
Mr. Sanni, let's look at it from this perspective. Yes, this whole development is heating up the polity in that state. We're discussing politics without bitterness, and it's evident that with incidences like this, it sends signals that there is bitterness, there is bitter rivalry between both parties. We need to come to a position where we put all of this to a stop. And I would have thought that your party, being the opposition party, should look at ways at ensuring that this tension in the state is completely doused.
Yeah, if you are talking about Kano State specifically, so far you haven't seen any time when our leader from that state, distinguished Senator Rabi Musa Kankoso, had acted or had conducted himself in a manner that is contrary to the expectation of sportsmanship in political engagement. No doubt, they know that as far as Kano politics is concerned, Senator Kankoso is the main and the real actor. And for whatever reasons, for whatever obvious reasons, they are afraid of his mass appeal to the people. And they cannot come out to say, to cite one instance of when our campaign or our leadership in that state had come short of expectation of fair play and political sportsmanship. Rather, I think they are the ones who have been fomenting all manner of trouble. At the time they said Kankoso could not come to Kano. At the time they said all manner of lies against him. But so far I think the man has been very gentlemanly enough, and that his appeal is very obvious. And I think obviously for that they are jittery.
Thank you, Olusola Sanni. We'll come back to you very shortly. Let's speak with our analyst right here in Lagos. You've heard both parties. You've heard the PDP speak with Sanni, and you've heard also Yakasai speak. And both of them said something in common, that they're both, being economical with the truth. So really, what's the balance if Yakasai is saying that that PDP should be is at fault because they changed their dates, and Olusola Sanni is saying it is an era of rallies, and they have no duty to tell the opposition party, the ruling party in Kano State, that they ought to use the stadium. Where do we draw this balance?
Well, where to draw the balance is for Olusola's statement that they really don't need to inform the state government. I won't agree with that, because if you are to use a public facility and the state government is in charge of the maintenance of the place, then you need to inform them so that they can put the necessary things in place in terms of logistics, traffic control, and all that. Then on the part of the media advisor to the Kano State Governor, what is missing in his statement is the political loyalty approach. He tried to downplay that. In our polity, if you are at the helm of affairs and you are supporting a particular candidate, we believe that the more we try to limit the chances and opportunities of the other candidate, that the person at the top will see us as being loyal. So the political loyalty approach is what is happening in Kano. Because if you are saying that they cannot use the facility because of maintenance, that is also a performance indictment on the part of the state government. Because let's assume that it's a football match and there were so many people and the stadium was used. Now, has the facility gone so that bad because of one particular use that it can't be used again? Do not forget that this is not even a football match whereby you need to maintain the grass. No. So if the facility goes terribly bad to the extent that it must be renovated before another person can use it, that means that the facility has not been properly maintained before.
No, what the state government was saying, what they said was that they need to renovate the stadium for the EPL games, that's the Premiership, the local football games. So that would also involve ensuring that the grasses are well taken care of.
Political observers and students of politics knows that it's more of sending a signal to the federal government that we are not only supporting you in Kano State as the sitting government, we are 100% loyal, and we will do anything possible to make sure the opposition has no breathing space. That is the message of political loyalty. And if the Kano State government had not first reject the plea of the PDP to use the stadium, we live in a society whereby you find people in the ruling party questioning why the state government had to grant the offer of the PDP to use the stadium. So we are in a, and if the PDP had not cried out that, oh, they have denied us, definitely the state government might not have reversed a statement. I think the state government reversed the decision after so much public outcry. If it is basically on renovation, the state government should have come up with the specific thing they are trying to renovate. So it will be verifiable. Did a particular part of the stadium collapse? Let the public know. So that will bring the sincere approach to politics. But what the Kano State government is trying to cover is the political loyalty to the federal government. And on the part of the PDP, they need to be a little bit humble and follow the due process. Because if you are coming to my house today, and if I'm having you as a guest, and you are not able to make it, if you are coming tomorrow, it is your responsibility for you to notify me so that I can prepare. You don't just come into my house and think you can come anytime. So I think it's on both ways.
Are these reasons, logical enough to justify the refusal? Because let me cast our minds back to the fact that the president at some point wanted to use the Akwa Ibom Stadium, and almost the same reason was given. They said that it was the stadium was being prepared for the Premier League games at that time, and that it would be impossible to regrass the stadium because the stadium had been closed by the construction company handling the repairs. Now, if this is a do me, I do you stuff, now they've gotten their own pound of flesh from the Kano state government. We saw that happen in Akwa Ibom State. Are these reasons for football reasons or for any sporting activity reasons, are they logical enough for the refusal of such spaces to be used by the opposition?
Well, I don't think it is logical enough. It is really not. Because if there is an urgent need for APC party members to reconvene at that particular stadium, the state government will not blink an eye before granting such request. So I don't think, and definitely we know we are in the political season, and different political parties has to use the public facility. So a situation whereby the ruling government across both in different states and as the federal level tends to customize public facilities. I don't think it is right. And we have that across board. We have a situation whereby government will customize the police. We have a situation whereby government will customize the state civil service, we dictate to them. We have a situation whereby government will declare holiday because of political rally, shut down schools. It is wrong. It is not right for government to customize public utilities or facilities in one way or that. And that is what goes down to the financial part as well. We find a situation whereby ruling parties in state use state resources, use state utilities to favor themselves. You know, you find a situation whereby if you go to a particular state, all what you'll be hearing is the campaign jingles of the ruling party. You find a situation whereby what you see on NTA most is anything Buhari. These things are wrong. We have to strike a balance that this thing is for the public, and anybody that is a Nigerian citizen has right, 100% right to anything that is being owned by Nigerians.
Well,
all right.
Shola, many thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate your time. We still have our Abuja guest?
Yes, we still have him.
Okay, let's have a parting word from our Abuja guest. If you're still there. If you're still there. Okay, Sanni, a parting word. We need to move away from this politics of bitterness and to ensure that we take our democracy to the next level. Hello, can you hear me? So just a parting statement on this. Let's move the economy, our democracy to the next level.
Well, when you talk about the next level, I don't know what you mean by that. But what we know is that the political process in this country has come a fairly long way. 20 years of uninterrupted democracies is no mean feat. And that moving forward into 2019 and beyond, we need to be more matured in the kind of political, how we play our politics. We must also always remember that politics is about the good of the common man. And that is why, that is what we focus on in our campaign. The PDP campaign is about the common man, and it's about how to get Nigeria working again.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the show. We hope you'll be there when next we call upon you. And so we'll take a break now. When we return, we'll go straight to our next issue for discussion. Don't go away.